are there any apps or obviously vidIQ does it, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. But is there anything else other than like Canva and stuff like that? Is there anything dedicated to YouTube thumbnails that does it, or would help you create something better than you could generally create?
See, I've over time, what I've done is when it comes to choosing a thumbnail and making a thumbnail, you first have to do the research before you even touch your software. Now, there's certain defaults within a niche. Now, if you think gaming, you immediately think bright colors, computer sprites, big letters and big words. Now, if you think of banking and people like Graham Stephan and stuff like that, you're thinking dark colors and numbers and like, so
business,
what you do is you figure out your niche, right? So let's say you're baking cakes. You then go and type in chefs and cakes and food. You have a look at how their thumbnails are done by standard. Is there some kind of theme that's continually used? Is there always a pastels colors? Is there always a font? Is there a lead creator in that field that you could borrow or be educated from? Because it's not stealing, it's standing on the shoulders of giants and learning from their hard work in the first place. PewDiePie has put out possibly tens of thousands of videos in the past. So he's done the work to have a look at how that thumbnail works. I've been on YouTube for 8 years, 3 years as an educator. My thumbnails right at the start are much worse than they were now because I've learned, oh, well, that thumbnail style worked. Well, that outline worked. Well, that text might work. And so what you do is you look at your niche and then you pick up
almost
things.
Doing some proper A/B testing, basically, almost.
Well, that's it. That's it. And you've got all the time in the world. You can always go back and replace that thumbnail, right? It's not set in stone, right? It's not carved like the 10 commandments of I'm not religious, so I'm just going to get abused, right? But there are general rules of thumb, right? Which is show or scream it with text. So minimal text, so 2 or 3 words that screams, how to live stream, right?
Yeah.
Or a picture that's clearly a webcam, if you're talking about webcams or knitting or needles, that you either hero focus on the content, which is, here is the thing, here is my loo roll, right? And it's center of the screen, it just says free loo roll or whatever, right? That way you know it's about loo roll, or, right, you say it with minimal text as much as possible. Mr. Beast is fantastic at these, right? And try on YouTube, I don't know which way I'm pointing, right? Try and keep the most important things on the left-hand side of the thingy, right? Because in the Western world, we read top to bottom, left to right. So you keep the important things on the left-hand side, and anything that's either representational or sacrificial can be on the right, because there's a lot that gets cut off. You get your timestamp and you get your playlist thing. And so, yeah, but then have a look at things like GIMP or Pixel, there's PicMonkey and Canva. All these are free.
Yeah.
I use this is going to kill a few people. I've got Photoshop, but I use PaintShop Pro.
Brilliant. And
have done for forever. Mainly because Coral Draw was what we used at school when I was a wee human being, and I couldn't get past it. And I've never been graphically good, but then when I stepped into web design, I had a team, and then when I stepped out of it, I had to learn something. So I slowly learned layering stuff. So once you've got a template that you know that you can switch out, have a look at my thumbnails for about 18 months. It was pretty much me in front of there with just a new wacky face and a new piece of text, right? It doesn't have to be extravagant. You just have to make it clear what that video is about.